Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In any important affair, when you're coming to do something, even like exams or something, keep asking Allah's forgiveness. For you may not be helped and supported to do what you wish to do as a punishment for certain sins that you have committed. So always remember seeking Allah's forgiveness. And if someone can tell the brothers outside, stop fighting, because the way they speak is just like fighting. I'm sure, I don't know what, anyway. طيب. So we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu sallam ala Muhammad. Jazakumullahu khairan, Shaykh Muhammad. Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Today we pursue our series of commentary for Tahawyah, but there are also some ta'silat that we have to shed the light on. Ta'silat means giving some important guidelines, bases and rules that are important. At-Tahawyah, we call it al-fiqh al-akbar. The subject of Tahawyah is described as al-fiqh al-akbar. What is al-fiqh al-akbar? Al-fiqh al-akbar means the major jurisprudence. The major jurisprudence. Why do we call it al-fiqh al-akbar? Because if the matters of halal and haram, ahkam, rulings of prayer, rulings of fasting or zakah, if those are called fiqh, so tawheed is more deserving to be called fiqh as well, because it is the major and the highest kind of understanding needed for us. So that's why Abu Hanifa rahimahullah had a booklet that he called it al-fiqh al-akbar, the higher or the greater fiqh, because the subject of that book was about aqeedah. Now, and as I said to you, that this ilm is ilm of honor, as scholars say. Sharaful ilmi bi sharafil ma'lum. The honor of the knowledge is related to the honor of the person. It's related to the honor of Allah. So this knowledge is honored because of the honor of Allah. Now, what is the whole subject about? It's about seeking the correctness in the matter of ibadah, because we were created for worshipping Allah. We were created for worshipping Allah. Period. That's the whole issue about this whole life and all what it contains, and all the creation of the heavens and the earth. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام وكان عرشه على الماء ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. He created the heavens and the earth, and his throne was over the water to test you. Who among you has the best deed? For that purpose. So, the matter of ibadah is important, isn't it? Are we allowed to worship someone other than Allah? Every Muslim, even those who are drawn in shirk, they will be saying to you, no, Allah should be worshipped alone. Okay? But we have to analyze what Allah said. Allah said, فَاعْبُدِ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصًا لَهُ الدِّينَ. Then worship Allah, making your deen, religion, faith sincere to Him. Right? In which surah is this? Az-Zumar. I think second or third ayah. But the next surah after it, which is what surah? No. Ghafir, I think so. Ghafir. In Surah Ghafir, Allah says, فَادْعُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. You see, there's a resemblance between the two ayah. The ayah, alaykum salam. Hayyakum Allah. There is resemblance, similarity between فَعْبُدِ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصًا لَهُ الدِّينَ and فَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ. Don't you realize that there is resemblance, similarity? Yes. So what is the exact translation of the first ayah? فَعْبُدِ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصًا لَهُ الدِّينَ. Worship Allah, making your deen sincere to Him. The next ayah. So what does it say? Worship, right? Listen to me carefully. It says, so worship Allah, making your religion sincere to Him. Worship Allah. The next ayah, call upon Allah, making your religion sincere to Him. As a result, invoking Allah is a matter of worship. Did you get the point? Do you want me to bring to you the exact number of the ayah? I'll give you the exact number of the ayah. Now, in Surah Ghafir, Surah number 40, ayah number 15, or 14, sorry. So, supplicate Allah, making your religion sincere to Him. So supplicating Allah is a matter of what? So why some people make that worship, that means give that worship to someone other than Allah by supplicating them, saying Ya Jilani, Ya Muhammad, Ya Hussein, Ya Ali. It's a matter of worship. So remember those two ayah. The first one in Surah Az-Zumar, Surah number 39, ayah number 2, compared to the ayah number 14 in the chapter number 40. فَاعْبُدِ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصًا لَهُ الدِّينَ فَادْعُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. Remember this. Besides that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ عِبَادٌ أَمْثَالُكُمْ فَادْعُوهُمْ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Those whom you invoke, supplicate, call apart from Allah. Those whom you call apart from Allah, what about them? They are the servants. They are servants the like of you. So call them and let them respond your call if you are saying the truth. You know what one person said to me on the TV once? He called me on the TV and he said, at least Allah is saying, فَادْعُوهُمْ. So Allah is giving an order to call them. Oh my God. Wallahi, that's sickness. So you know what I said? No. La ilaha illallah. Look what Allah said, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Az-Zumar, the same surah, chapter 39, قُلِ اللَّهَ أَعْبُدُ مُخْلِصًا لَهُ دِينِي. Say, it is Allah only whom I worship, making my religion sincere to Him. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. So worship whatever you desire apart from Him. Is this a command for them to do it? Is Allah giving a command here? Go ahead, please worship. Yalla, go ahead. No, it's a threatened kind of addressing. This is the Quranic approach. Yalla, go ahead. فبهت الذي رفض. So as a result, when we recite this ayah, إن الذين تدعون من دون الله عباد أمثالكم فادعوهم فليستجيبوا لكم إن كنتم صادقين. In which ayah? نعم. In Surah Al-A'raf, chapter number 7, ayah 194. طيب. So as a result, after reciting this ayah, understanding it, those whom you call apart from Allah are the servants, the like of you. So call them and let them answer your call if you're saying the truth. After this ayah, there is no one that should say, Allah allowed us to ask the Prophet, and Allah gave him the capability of giving us our need by Allah's command, by Allah's permission. Who told you? Allah is saying in this ayah, you're not permitted to call someone other than Allah. How come Allah allowed His Prophet to be having this capability of hearing people and give them what they want? How come? The other benefit is that al-ma'buduna fil jahiliyyati kanu basharan. Those who used to be worshipped in Jahiliyyah, they used to be human beings. The only thing is that people had taken images for them in a stone material, okay, and they worship them. That's all. That's why Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar rahimahullah said, وَقِصَّةُ الصَّالِحِينَ, and the issue, the dialogue, the topic of as-salihin, the righteous people, كانت مبتدأ عبادة قوم نوح لهذه الأصنام, was the beginning of the worship of the people of Nuh to those statues. So what was behind the statues? The graves, the dead people, the dead righteous people. As you see today, Christianity is a pagan religion. They have statues? Yes. Only stone? Do they have only stone or imaged stone? Imaged stone. They have imaged stone. Okay? So that's how Jahiliyyah was before. The other benefit is that shirk of Jahiliyyah before the Risalah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was based on wasata, intermediary, taking people as mediators between them and Allah. That was the type of Jahiliyyah before. And their type of Jahiliyyah was the type of Shafa'ah as well. They say, oh, we worship them not but for the reason that they may make Shafa'ah for us with Allah. So if you see people trying to prove that you should be having a mediator between you and Allah, say to him goodbye. By the way, what is the sign? Just tell me, what are the signs of the people that you should not be taking knowledge from them? What do they look like? How do you tell that they're not on the right way? Ubaid? Huh? When they say to you, it is allowed to ask the dead people, not worshipping them. No, we're not worshipping them. No. We're only asking them to be mediators between us and Allah, to give shafa'ah to us, to ask Allah for us. That's their sign. The other sign, come on, I want you to help me. I'm not only a lecturer. I don't like to be a lecturer and let people just look at me. Give me, come on. Huh? If he says to you, yes? If he says to you, bid'ah, there's a good one and there's a bad one. If he says that to you, say to him goodbye. Say to him goodbye. Khalas. Because he is opposing what the Prophet ﷺ said. The Prophet said, كل بدعة ضلالة. Every innovation is misguidance. What if he said, but there is a good one? Okay, if you want to have a good bid'ah, if you say there's a good bid'ah, you should say also that there's good dalala. Good dalala. Yani, what's the meaning of dalala? Misguidance. You should be saying there's a good misguidance and there's a bad misguidance. Why? Because the Prophet said, according to Sahih al-Nasa'i, authentically, وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. He did not only say every bid'ah is dalala. No. But he said, وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. And every bid'ah is misguidance and every misguidance is in hell. So if you say there's a good one, bid'ah, say also there's a good dalala. You have to. The text is one. Otherwise, you should refrain from this ancient argument. The Salaf al-Salih used to be examining the person's prayer. They used to be observing his prayer. If his prayer was based on the Sunnah, then they take knowledge from him. If not, then they don't take knowledge from him. No. Okay. Today we're going to talk about something very important. I hope somebody is recording. Is anyone recording? Just for precaution. No one has iPhone or something? Just for precaution. You know, I'm gonna do it. Don't worry. Don't bother. I have my. Oh. Tahawyah, that's good. Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah reward you. Okay. Just for precaution. You don't know, sometimes something stops, something doesn't record. So to be having one eye is better than having no eyes. So we use this for recording. Okay. Bismillah. All right. جيد. There is an important asl. There is al-aql wal-naql. Al-aql wal-naql. The people of bid'ah, among their signs that they say to you, al-usulu thalatha, yani the sources of religion are three. The sources by which you take your doctrine from, what are they? Can anyone tell me? The first asl? Al-Quran. The second asl? As-Sunnah. The people of bid'ah, they say first is the mind, al-aql. Second is al-Quran and Sunnah. Why do you say that? They say because because everything is based on the mind. If I have no mind, that means there is no book and Sunnah for me. Yes, only for you. But it doesn't mean that the book and the Sunnah are not existed if you have no mind. If you have no mind, no problem. We can call the ambulance to take you to the rehab. You know the rehab? To be rehabated, is that right? But it doesn't mean the book and the Sunnah are not any more available because your mind has a problem. No. Subhanallah, some people, I wonder the way people sometimes deal with religion. Al-Imam al-Sam'ani rahimahullah showed something, he mentioned something that shows what distinguishes the Sunni from al-Mubtadi'. What is the thing that distinguishes the Sunni from al-Mubtadi'? He said, فَصْلُ مَا بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ الْمُبْتَدِعَةِ. The criterion between us and the people of bid'ah is the matter of aql. هو مسألة العقل. فَإِنَّهُمْ أَسَّسُوا دِينَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَعْقُولِ. They have based their religion by what? By logic, mind. وجعلوا الاتباع والمأثور تبعا للمعقول. And they made the following is based on the matter of the mind. وقال السمعاني was praised by Imam Hajar ibn Asqalani. He said he's a great Athari Sunni scholar. So he continued, وإنما علينا أن نقبل ما عقلناه إيمانا وتصديقا. But we should be accepting what we understood from the book and the Sunnah, إيمانا, by faith, and تصديقا, as a matter also of belief. وما لم نعقله, and what we did not understand by our minds, قبلناه تسليما واستسلاما. We accept it as a matter of submission. Very good. Okay. So those people, when they preceded the mind over the naql, look, al-aql means the mind, and naql means the evidences of the book and the sunnah. So I don't need to say mind, aql, I don't need to say, to explain it to English at other time. Aql means the mind, naql means book and sunnah. Okay, so I want you to go with me on that, inshallah. When they preceded al-aql over al-naql or before al-naql, they were using al-qiyas al-fasid. Al-qiyas al-fasid, the false kind of analogy. When the muqaddimah is fasid, al-natija will be fasid. When the beginning is false, the result will be false. إذا كانت المقدمة فاسدة سوف تكون نتيجة فاسدة. What is the falsehood of their result? It results that they refuse what Allah ordered and what His Prophet ﷺ ordered. Okay? For example, regarding the matter of sifat, attributes of Allah, they say, wow, that shouldn't be attributed to Allah. Or they say, we give it a meaning. They start to change its meanings. We're coming to this, inshallah. Now, العقل من النقل كالعين من الضوء. I'm going to explain that. وكالخادم من سيده. وكالخادم من سيده. What's the meaning of that? Al-aql, what's the meaning of aql? The mind. Min al-naql. Al-aql related to al-naql is just like the eye related to the light. Is the light important? Yes. Is the eye important? Yes or no? Yes. Was the light made for the eye or not? Like this light, for example. Was it made for the eye? Yes. So which one is important now? You may say the eye is more important than the light. For example, to see. Okay, we're going to turn the light off. Can the eye play its role? No. No more mission for the eye. But why? Because for the eye to do its job, it requires the light. And this Quran is the light of our minds. This is the light. وَاتَّبَعُوا النُّورَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ مَعَهُ. And they followed the light that was descended with him. This is the ayah. طيب. And just like the maid related to his master. Can you say that the maid is more important, is higher than his master? No. His master is more important than him. He needs him. How can you make the master equal to the maid? I'm not talking about their values. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. But I'm saying who's more important in terms of the job, for example. For sure. as the eyes vary. You know, the eyes vary. You know the meaning of vary, not very, vary. It's from various, for example. As the eyes vary in terms of sight, there are different types of eyes. There's weak eye and there's a strong eye. Is that right? Yeah. Like my poor weak eyes. I need always, I don't know, half degree or quarter degree, I don't know. So the eyes vary. There's a strong eye and there's a weak eye. Also, there are strong minds and weak minds as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the Quran, لا يأتيه الباطل من بين يديه ولا من خلفه. The falsehood does not come to the Quran, neither from the back of it nor from the forth of it. That means, in other words, there is no falsehood in the Quran at all. But is there any way of falsehood in the mind? Yes. There are many weird kinds of minds. Yes. So how do we precede the mind over the book and the sunnah? How the mind bear witness that the naql is correct, sound, pure, perfect, then it preceded itself over the book of Allah and the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And as I said, the minds vary, they're different. Do you have any idea about how the Sufis have a system between the Shaykh and the Murid? You know the meaning of the word Murid? Student. Huh? The student and the Shaykh. How they holify the Shaykh and they respect him, etc., etc. Right? Have you ever imagined a student who says, my mind is preceded than the mind of my Shaykh? He doesn't dare to say it. No, my Shaykh is greater. His mind is greater than mine. He's my Shaykh. I'm student. I should not precede my mind over his mind. He's my Shaykh. Oh yeah? What about the book and the sunnah of the creator of the Shaykh? How dare you preceded your mind over the book of Allah and the sunnah of his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? No. I was reciting one important ayah regarding this issue. There's a surah, we should be calling it, we can call it, the surah of adab, the surah of ethics. From the beginning of it till the end of it, the whole subject of it is about adab, ethics, morality. What is that surah? أحسنت يا عبد السلام. بارك الله فيك. Surah Al-Hujurat. What is the first ayah of Surah Al-Hujurat? يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله. O you who have believed, do not precede. لا تقدموا. Surah Al-Hujurat, surah is 49, huh? The first ayah. Do not proceed before Allah and His Messenger. What does it mean? By any opinion. Do not precede your opinions, your perspective over or before the perspective of Allah and His Messenger. So when we recite this ayah, that makes it very clear that the mind should not be preceded before the book and the sunnah. So those who say that the sources of our doctrine, the source by which we take our doctrine from is the mind, the book, the sunnah, they're making it wrong. May Allah forgive them and may Allah guide them. It's wrong. The other evidence is, my mind differs than your mind. If my mind and your mind contradicted, where do we go? What do we do? If we preceded the mind over the book and the sunnah, and my mind disagree with your mind, what's going to happen to the religion? If the religion is based on our minds, that means no more religion, goodbye. But Allah ordered those whom He created their minds, He ordered them this, the following. فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ, if you ever disagree on a matter or anything, فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. He didn't say فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى الْعَقْلِ. He didn't say then return it to your mind. He said, no. He said, return it to the book and the sunnah. إِن كُنتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. How do you do that? If you believe in Allah and the last day. Subhanallah. What is the relevance between this issue and believing in Allah and the last day? Because Allah is giving condition. If you believe in Allah and the last day, there's a great relevance between them. If you believe in Allah and the last day, then you should be seeking primarily the Allah and His Messenger before your mind, before your perspective. Then what did He say? What is the end of the ayah? ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. This is better and for the best consequence. The best result will be the best result will be when you seek the judgment in anything you disagree with one another about, you return it to the book and the sunnah. That will give the best results. Sometimes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it. وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. You may hate something while it's good for you. It's better for you. And you may like something while it's bad for you. And Allah knows, but you do not know. So how can we precede our minds over the book and the sunnah? The minds may hate something while it's good for us. Or it may like something while it's bad for us. The ayah is so clear. Now, does the mind have knowledge about the spirit? وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. They're asking you concerning the spirit. Tell them, the spirit is of my Allah's affairs. And you have not been given a knowledge but a bit, a little. So if the mind is unaware about the fact, about the spirit which is the closest to the mind, it's in the system, the same system. So how come the mind interferes to give its perspective before the book and the sunnah? I'm going to give you some examples to show you that people may think something while Allah, the murad of Allah and His Messenger is different. The Prophet ﷺ said to his wives, أسرعكن لحوقا بي أطولكن يدا. The nearest one among you to follow me after my death is the one has the tallest hand. Tallest hand. What did you understand? I want someone to explain to me what did it mean. The wives of the Prophet ﷺ, after hearing this, they started each one of them to measure the hand of one another. Which one is longer? This is what they understand from the first time. But after the Prophet died, the first one among his wives that died was Zainab radiallahu anha. Why the Prophet said that she has the longest hand? Zainab was known significantly between all the wives of the Prophet that she is the most one in terms of giving, donating, giving. She was the most generous one. No. One important thing also, that the sound mind will never be conflicting with the authentic naql. The sound aql will never be contradicting with the sound naql, the authentic naql. I should not be saying the sound, because every authentic is sound, be it book or the sunnah. Every narration that have been narrated authentically by the Prophet ﷺ is correct. We don't need to say sound, because when it is proven to be correct, it is sound. Now, after reciting this ayah for you, وَعَسَى أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, we can see that the mind kind of evidence, analogy, it may be dhanni as well. It's dhanni. Because the mind thought that this is good while it's bad. It's very clear from the ayah. Now, طيب, I'm going to ask you a question. If you are junub, can you make wudu? The brother said yes. What do you say? Yes? Why? Do you imitate him? Can you make wudu? How can you make wudu?
Yeah, there's narration which says if you cannot take a bath, then take a wudu instead and say that.
Yes, Jazakallah khairan. Sah. You see, from the first time, if the Prophet doesn't know the narration, he will be saying no. But since he has awareness about this narration, the Prophet ﷺ said, or he used to also do the following. Whenever he becomes lazy from taking ghusl from the janaba, he just take wudu. If he is more lazy, he can't for circumstances or whatever, he used to be touching the wall, making tayammum and sleeping. What does the mind say about that? No, how can this be? How can you be having wudu, considered wudu, while you have janaba? That's why scholars say that a lot of al-manqul ta'ti ala khilaf al-ma'qul. Many of the evidences from book and sunnah, it may come against what the mind sometimes think. Right? The mind says, the one who used to be supporting the Prophet ﷺ, he is more deserving to be guided to Islam. And the one who used to be spending his whole life fighting the Prophet ﷺ, he is more deserving to be misguided. Is that correct? Yes? Yes or no? Basically, yeah. Primarily, yes. But we have some evidences that prove the opposite. Abu Sufyan was an extreme leader, extreme enemy, and the worst kind of leader of fights against Islam. And Allah guided him. He said, حتى أدخل الله الإسلام في قلبي. I kept thinking, certainly, that the religion of Muhammad is becoming greater and greater and greater until Allah penetrated Islam into my heart. That's who? Abu Sufyan. What about Abu Talib? Abu Talib was the greatest defender of the Prophet ﷺ. But when the Prophet invited him to say La ilaha illallah, he said, I can say it, but I only say it to please you. I only say it to please you. Then Abu Jahl was standing while Abu Talib was on the last breath. أَتَرْغَبُ عَنْ مِلَّةِ أَبِي عَبْدِ الْمُطَّلِبِ. Are you going to give up the way of Abdul Muttalib, the religion of Abdul Muttalib? He was looking at him like this. And he said to the Prophet ﷺ, you know, even at the moment of his death, he's caring about what's going to happen to him by his tribe after he dies. Subhanallah. So he said, finally, the last thing he said, أنا على ملة عبد المطلب, and he died. So sometimes the facts come in the contrary of what people has or conclude. For example, also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَىٰ التهلكة. Can anyone translate it to me into English, please? Do not, what? Throw yourself to perish. Is that correct? Yes. What is that perish? Brothers, can anyone explain to me? Do not throw yourself, subject yourself to perish. What is the understand? What did you understand from this ayah? Brother? You? No, you.
Destruction.
Destruction. Yeah, what is the destruction? What is the destruction? Like what?
Into trouble.
Into trouble. What else? You don't know the narration. If you know this narration in my mind, you'll be changing your mind. What? Leaving jihad is a perish. Some people saw some Muslims are fighting and they are attacking the enemies bravely. They said, oh, those people are subjecting themselves to perish. And Allah said, don't subject yourself to perish. Abu Ayyub al-Ansari replied and said, you're taking the ayah on the wrong of its understanding. This ayah was revealed regarding us, people of Al-Ansar. When Allah granted His Prophet ﷺ full victory and he went to Mecca and he opened it, we Al-Ansar said, Allah had supported His Prophet. Now we're going to turn in consideration to our farms and cultivation. Then this ayah was revealed to the Prophet as a response to that. So what is the perish now, and according to this ayah? Leaving jihad. And this hadith is authentic. For sure, jihad also has its own fiqh. And when people call for jihad, unfortunately, they are calling for the wrong way of jihad, without its condition, without its understanding. As the matter of prayer, it requires fiqh, so the matter of jihad as well requires fiqh and wisdom in terms of how to deal with it. يا أيها الذين آمنوا عليكم أنفسكم لا يضركم من ضل إذا اهتديتم. O you who have believed, you should be عليكم أنفسكم, you should be turning to yourselves. I don't know if this is, let me see the meaning, the translation of that. عليكم أنفسكم لا. It's in Surah Al-Ma'idah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا عليكم أنفسكم, ayah number 105. O you who had believed, upon you is responsibility for yourselves. Those who have gone astray will not harm you when you have been guided. To Allah is your return. Altogether, then He will inform you of what you used to do. So, you, O you who have believed, upon you is responsibility for yourselves. It will not harm you, those who were misguided. What does it mean? Does it mean that we should be giving up al-amr bil ma'ruf wa nahi anil munkar? Abu Bakr said, oh brothers, you're taking this ayah in the wrong way. It doesn't harm you, and as long as you give amr bil ma'ruf wa nahi anil munkar, it will not harm you. But it doesn't mean you should not be giving amr bil ma'ruf wa nahi anil munkar. You know the meaning of amr bil ma'ruf wa nahi anil munkar: enjoining what is good, forbidding what is wrong. This is the meaning, this is the right meaning of the ayah. So sometimes people, I want to show you that the minds are not enough in terms of, it doesn't deserve to be preceded before the book and the sunnah. No. Therefore we ask, is there any ruling in terms of dealing with this matter, preceding the mind? Is there any law, qanun? So people should be knowing when they precede the Quran and the Sunnah, and when they precede their minds, there's nothing. Nothing. Or did those people put in their mind that there are some people who are troubled with waswasa? You know waswasa? Whisperings. Like many kinds of minds, they have waswasa. How can we say we precede the mind over the book and the Sunnah, and the minds are subjected to waswasa? Bye. Another example. If someone broke the fasting of some days in Ramadan, should he make it up at other time? Yes or no? Yes. What? Yes. What if he did not pray some days? Should he make it up? Yes. What if she? Depends. A woman came to Aisha radiallahu anha and asked her, what is the matter with women? They make up days of fasting if they miss some days, while they do not make up the days if they have the menses. Why don't they make up the prayer when they have the menses? So Aisha said to this woman, are you Haruriya? Are you Khawarij? She said, no, but I'm asking. As if she's saying, the mind tells me that since I have to make up the broken fasted days in Ramadan because of my menses, why don't I make up the days also that I broke my prayer? So here you can see there's no way of analogy, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered women to make up those days of fasting, but He did not order women to make up the days they broke in terms of their prayer. Did you understand the point? I'm showing you that the mind should not be used as independent first source of what you should be believing. طيب فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. What does the ayah mean? Ask the people of what? No. الذكر, revelation. If you don't know. Do you want the evidence? I'll bring you the evidence. I'll show you the evidence. It can be used, yes. It can be used. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْر. But this is not, Wait. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا قَبْلَكَ إِلَّا رِجَالًا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِمْ. We haven't sent before you, Muhammad, but men whom we used to reveal to them. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. For if you doubt about this, that we used to be sending men, not angels, men as prophets. If you are in doubt of this, ask those who have been given the book before you. That means the people of the book. أهل الذكر. This Quran is dhikr. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْر وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. So, okay. What do you think about a prophet? Can he imagine something unreal? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. I didn't say something wrong. Did you say wrong?
No.
Real.
He can't imagine something unreal.
No. Stick to my word. Stick to my question. I did not say, okay, I don't know if you said it or not, But I did not say the Prophet doesn't imagine something wrong. I didn't say that. I said, can the Prophet imagine something which is not real, yes or no? ما اختلفنا.
Yes, yes. Because
What?
you can't imagine something real because the mind.
The Musa alayhi salam, when he saw the stick, okay, as if it's a moving snake, he ran away from it. So was it real stick? The stick that he threw, yes. But the stick that the magicians threw, which he saw it as snakes, because Allah said, فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ خِيفَةً مُوسَى. Musa was terrified when he saw these sticks of the magicians turn to what? It did not turn to snakes. It looked like snakes. So can the Prophet imagine something which is not real? Yes. That's why those people, when they see Sahih al-Bukhari narrating hadith about the Prophet, that when he was subjected to the magic of the Jewish person in Medina, and he started to see himself, imagine himself, as if he is approaching his wives while he was not approaching his wives. What do they say? Oh, you see, that's your Bukhari, it's a false book. Why? They say, how dare you say that the Prophet may be alluded or having imagination that he is approaching his wives while he was not approaching his wives. We say to them, do you believe in the Quran? They say, yes, certainly. We ask them, what about Musa? He imagined the sticks that were thrown by the magicians, that they are real snakes. Then they can't give any more answer. Finish. I'm giving those examples to do you say diffuse? لإبطال. To diffuse the evidences of those who say that the mind is preceded over the book and the sunnah. Refute. Jazakallah khair. What does the mind say about saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can this be suggested by the mind, or it's a matter of worship? It's a matter of worship. So we stop here. This asal is very important. By this, we have refuted yani replied, but diffuse, I think, is to prove that his claim is wrong. Am I correct? Correct me, please. Inshallah. طيب. Diffuse. إبطال. I think you understand my. Let me. Okay. Yeah. To annul. To nullify. To invalidate their claims. Inshallah, this is understood now. Alhamdulillah. طيب. The other asl today that we have to dedicate ourselves to is this. إذا ثبت الخبر. Who can continue it? انقطع النظر. إذا ثبت الخبر انقطع النظر. What does it mean? If the narration, if the source, if the matter is proven by book and sunnah, then your suggestion, your mind suggestion should not be given any consideration. Your analogy is annulled, invalidated. If someone said that this is the judgment of Allah, this is the evidence from the Quran regarding this matter, you should not be using your mind and saying, but what about? That's why someone came to Ibn Umar and said to him, what about? What's the meaning of what about? In Arabic, أرأيت. Do you see? So Ibn Umar said to him, اجعل أرأيت في اليمن إنما هي السنن. Throw أرأيت in Yemen. It's a matter of sunan. It's not a matter of analogy. I like that. And we say also لا قياس مع النص. لا قياس مع النص. There is no comparison of analogy when the text from book and sunnah is presented. Now, for example, why it is prohibited on men to use a golden ring, but it's not prohibited on women? What does the mind say about that? Can the mind give any result to this except saying this is what Allah ordered? That's why if people say to us, for example, that happened to me. A woman said to me, a British woman, why women should be covering their head while men should not be covering their head? Can anyone give an answer to that? What's the matter with you? Give me any suggestion. Nothing? I mean, is that gonna be your reaction if a woman asks you this question? Yes. That's what I want you to say always. Number one, Allah ordered. And you should say it with confidence. This is the command of Allah. And we have to obey. She said, well, prove to me that it's from Allah. No problem. This is what we say to you. Before you say, I don't think so, I disagree with this, it doesn't make sense, go ahead and read our book and see if it's from Allah or not. Then, after you become certain that this is from Allah, you should not be interfering your suggestions or disagreement against that. It's from Allah, from your Creator. You can't tell me that He created your mind, which became more sound that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's judgment. It can't be. Like, I was given it in a joking way. Sorry, I may go far beyond my lecture. So I said to her, if I do this, will I be attracting you? She said no. I said, well, if I see a woman doing this, she'll be shaking my heart. She was laughing like you and she accepted it. Finished. Yeah. The third ruling, the first ta'sil, yani fundamental, the third fundamental or base, al-haqiqatu wal-majaz. I have to mention something quickly about it, briefly, quickly. Metaphor and what? Haqiqa. Haqiqa means what in English? Huh? Fact. Literal. And majaz, metaphor. Metaphor is the last resort of those who have no more evidence to prove for you. Those who are broken, they have no more evidence. Then they have to use the metaphoric approach. They say to you, this is metaphoric, this is literal. This is metaphoric, this is literal. Is there any law, definition, that define to me when am I allowed to use metaphor and when I'm allowed to use the fact? Literal. To use the text literally and to use the text metaphorically. What is the definition? Where's the law? There is no law. That's why we never deal with the matter of metaphor. Never ever. So what is the alternative? You may ask this question. That the context itself, it's the judge. The context itself is the judge. For example, let me give you an example. Khalaqa. I'm going to the highest evidence now. Khalaqa. When you find the word khalaqa in the Quran, what does it mean? Huh? Creating? Huh? Create. Khalaqa means create. Is that right? No. Not always. Naam? No. Yeah, initiate. For example, don't you know what the Prophet said that the musawwirin, those drawers who draw human beings, what the Prophet said about them? Do you remember? Can you help me? Anyone please help me? The Prophet said about them, they will be the mostly punished people at the Day of Judgment. It will be said to them, create what you pictured, what you drew. Go ahead, create it. Creation means also الترتيب والتهيئة, to bring something and make a combination of something. This is also khalq. What's the evidence? أني أخلق لك, this is what Isa is saying according to the Quran. أني أخلق لكم من الطين كهيئة الطير. I draw to you from the clay just like the structure of the bird. Then it will become bird itself. So tell me about أخلق لكم. Does it mean creating from nothing in this ayah? No. And this is a good answer, because some people may say to you, what about Jesus? He's mentioned in your Quran that he can create. But they don't put in consideration, they don't ponder upon the ayah. The ayah says, أخلق لكم من الطين. From the clay I create for you. So is creation always used, that means to create from nothing? Not always. Why did I mention that? I'm saying this because one word may be having 2 or 3 meanings. What are you going to do now when one word has more than one meaning? You should then look at the context to see which is the right meaning that fits the context. For if you don't and you change from that meaning to the other meaning, you'll be making tahrif, changing, twisting, asserting. I give an example. Allah ma'ak. What's the meaning? If you hear someone saying to you, Allah ma'ak, what do you understand? So, ma'iyya, ma'. Here in this context, what is the type of companionship, ma'iyya? Is it knowledge? Is it support? Is it accompanying? Because there are 3 meanings of the word ma'. Wallahu ma'as sabirin. What type of ma'? There are 3 types of meanings for this dharf ma'. So, Wallahu ma'as sabirin. We have 3 meanings for ma'. 1 for support, 1 for knowledge, 1 for companioning. So which of the 3 meanings now that fit this ayah? Wallahu ma'as sabirin. Knowledge or support or companioning? Support. يستخفون من الناس ولا يستخفون من الله وهو معهم. He's talking about the hypocrites. They hide their fact from the believers, while they do not hide their facts from Allah while He's with them. So while Allah is with them, is it ma'iyya of support or knowledge or companionship? Knowledge. What if someone said, well, there are 3 meanings for ma'. I can choose any of those three meanings and put it. If he put the ma' of support here, he'll be changing the whole ayah. See, there is no word, but it has at least 2 meanings. So you have to choose the meaning, to be honest, honestly picking the right meaning that fit the context. Otherwise you'll be doing just like what the Jews used to do, changing the revelation of Allah. This is very important, brothers. The most sound way, but there's no other way, by the way. The sound way to deal with this matter is to look at the context, what it requires, not what you desire to require. نعم. نعم. نقول الله معك. أنت أمك تقول لك الله معك يا ابني. It means she's يعني naturally she's talking about support. But when you say to someone who sin, كيف فعلت كذا والله معك, that means how do you do this while you know that Allah with you? It's talking about knowledge. طيب. إذ يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إن الله معنا. What type of ma' here? Support, knowledge, companionship? Support. No, not knowledge. Support. Why? What's the evidence? إلا تنصروه فقد نصره الله. If you do not support him, Allah has supported him. So the context is about what? When you look at the context will be telling you what is the right meaning that you should be choosing for the one word. That's why when we debate with Christians, they say, this is metaphoric, this is metaphoric. That means you can't catch them. You can't catch them. They become just like the mercury. You know the mercury? Some people become just like mercury. You can't catch them. Why? This is metaphoric, this is metaphoric. So I said to them, why don't you take the sonship of Jesus to Allah also metaphoric? They say, no, that's something else. So they'll be contradicting themselves. Why? Because the matter of what is metaphoric, what is literal, it's a matter of what? It's a matter that has no law, no definition. While the context, it has a definition. You have to look at the context to see what is the fitting meaning among the two meanings for this context. It's a judge itself. It's a law itself. I hope this is clear, inshallah. Now, also, nevertheless, we have to mention something very important as well, that the phrase itself, the word or the phrase may be one word that has one meaning, but when another word added to it, it will give different meaning. For example, didn't Allah say about this Quran, لا يأتيه الباطل. Do you remember the ayah? Can you continue? لا يأتيه الباطل من بين يديه ولا من خلفه. Right? What is the meaning? The falsehood doesn't come to it, neither from the front nor from the back. Baina, but we mentioned the word baina. Baina means in English what? Between. So how did we say amam, front, while the ayah is saying between, bayna yadayhi, and it's mentioning yadayhi? Does the Quran has hands? Does the Quran has hands? So why did it say bayna yadayhi? Aha. This is what we call it jumla tarkibiyya. Well, I forgot the word tarkibi. La ilaha illallah. Tarkib. Assembling. What? Composite. It may be composed of two words. Two words, when they get together, they will give different meaning than the one word. Because bayna means between, yaday means two hands. When you put the two words together, bayna, between, and yadayn, it will give one necessary meaning, no other meaning, one meaning only, and that is front. وما نتنزل إلا بأمر ربك له ما بين أيدينا وما خلفنا وما بين ذلك. And what is, look, subhanallah. ما بين أيدينا وما خلفنا وما بين ذلك. Yani, he knows what is before us and what is behind us and what is between the two, front and back. So the word bayna is mentioned twice. When it came with yaday, it gives one necessary meaning. That means the front. If the word bayna was separated from yaday, it means between. I'm just giving you an example because these issues are very important that cause many people to fall in fitna. So please be patient for these explanations. The last issue is that most of the tahrif of the Jews was based on what? Do you know that the book of the Torah, part of it, many of it, were available at the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ? That's why when the Prophet ﷺ was brought to him, man and a woman that fornicated, he asked the rabbis of the Jews in Medina, what do you say about the ruling of this case? Adultery. They said, you know, we put them over the camel or the donkey almost naked in order to humiliate them, and we hid them. He said, is that what the Torah say? They said, yes. He said, فَأْتُوا بِالتَّوْرَاةِ فَاتْلُوهَا إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Bring the Torah and recite it if you're telling the truth. Then they started to read to him. They were professionals. Jews are professionals. They're not only Marks and Spencer, but they also... So one of them, he put his finger on the place that they don't want anyone to see it. But Abdullah bin Salam radiallahu anhu was a previous rabbi. So he said to the Prophet, "O Prophet, tell this guy to move away his hand, his finger, from the word kill." From the word kill. So that rabbi was ordered to move his finger away, so they saw the ruling of the committers of adultery, that they should be sentenced to death. The Prophet ordered the Jewish man and the Jewish woman to be sentenced to death. So the Jewish man seems to be loving that woman. He came before her and he was defending her, tried to protect her from the stonings. So he got killed, and then the woman got killed. Look at the ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 70. أَفَتَطْمَعُونَ أَن يُؤْمِنُوا لَكُمْ وَقَدْ كَانَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَسْمَعُونَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ يُحَرِّفُونَهُ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا عَقَلُوهُ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. By the way, I wanted to tell you that the Torah and the Injil were abrogated. I had a debate with Jehovah's Witnesses here in this market. And he said to me, if you say that our book was changed, couldn't Allah preserve his book? And he said to me, this is my best argument, my best evidence. So I said to him, no, my dear, this is not the case. The case is that your two books are abrogated. He said, what? Abrogated? I said, yes, abrogated. Look, you have abrogated the Old Testament. You call it old. That means it's abrogated. If you allow yourself to abrogate, why don't you allow us to say your books also are, your New Testament and Old Testament are both abrogated? Look, you have to let us do to you what you did to the book of Allah. No more argument. Finish. So we believe that the Torah and the Injil were abrogated. That's why Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu in Sahih al-Bukhari, he said, يُحَرِّفُونَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ. It doesn't mean they remove it from the book of... No one can remove the book of Allah. No one can remove the verses of Allah. But they make tahrif by twisting its meaning. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani commented on that in Fath al-Bari, saying that this is the most of the attitude of the Jews in terms of their tahrif. Unfortunately, today there are people who are doing the same thing of the Jews. If we say to them, Allah is in the heaven, fi sama, fil ulu. I don't want to say, sorry, not in the heaven, in the height. If we say to them, Allah is in the height, they say, yes, He is in the height in His honor. Oh. So when Allah said to Isa, I'm taking up unto myself, that means I'm making you similar I'm making you equal to my honor. What? And if our Prophet told us that Allah will be descending at the last part of the night, that means his honor is falling down? What are you talking about? Subhanallah. Stawa ala al-arsh. They hate that ayah. ثم استوى على العرش. They say استوى means استولى. What's the meaning of استولى in English? Huh? Conquered, controlled, recontrolled. I'll check there. I think invaded. Is it invaded? استولى. Let me see. Seized, captured, take over. Yeah. He seized. Stawla. So he seized. Just like saying Israel seized Lebanon. So that means Lebanon, before Israel seized it, it was out of its what? Power. So when they say Allah istawla ala al-arsh, that means he recontrolled the arsh. That means, it implies that the arsh of Allah was out of his control. It was under control of someone. So Allah made istila, stawla ala al-arsh, he recaptured it. Then it became under his control. This is tahrif. They added letter lam to stawa. It become stawla. And they say this is Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah. They say it very, the way they say it. Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah. No, they're not. Because they are contaminated with the disease of ilm al-kalam. What ilm al-kalam? Theologic? Rhetoric. Which is not theologic. Which is not theologic. It has no... Those people, they are not really... They are not using their mind properly. They have a lot of contradictions. No. Because... I'll give you another example. Why? Because Allah said, He created the heavens and the earth in what? In what? In? Tell me. Are you tired? He sittati ayyam. So Allah is talking about the factor of what? Time. ثم استوى على العرش. Factor of time. That means Allah created the heavens and the earth. Then after them, He created what? He went over what? His throne. Created in 6 days, then He went over His throne. Is that correct? Yes or no? So we have no problem here in this understanding. But in the way they interpret it is wrong. Because if istawa here, it means He controlled. That means before creating the heavens and the earth, He was not controlling the arsh. So that meaning they gave is very bad, is worse than what they thought it to be bad. So this is a tahrif. Because of ilm al-kalam, they have their own understanding of the creation. Look what they say. They have something called dalil al-tamanu'. This is one of the bases of the theological rhetoric. Dalil al-tamanu'. What is dalil al-tamanu'? Yani dalil of two things that should not be or cannot be. They say, this is the meaning of that. يستحيل أن يكون للعالم فاعلان مستقلان. It is impossible to find for the world two doers independent doers. Two independent doers in anything they do. Because if anyone is independent from the other, this will be invalidating the independence of the other. So that means, let's suppose that if we have two gods. One, he wanted to do something in the world, and the other God, He doesn't want it to be. Either both of them will be contradicting, which is contradictory, or first one will be overwhelming the second, and the second will be frustrated, or both will not be doing anything. So what is the result? The result that one of them is God and the other one is not God, because the first one was able to do something, the second one could not be able to do the other thing. That's the greatest evidence that there is one creator for the world. Bravo, bravo, bravo. But you know what you did? You ended with the same belief of Abu Jahl. Did Abu Jahl believe that there are two creators for the world? No. You know, if you said that to Abu Jahl, he'll be saying, MashaAllah, that's good, I agree with you. But wait a minute, what was the problem of Abu Jahl? Did he believe that there are two creators for the world? No. What was his problem? Taking mediators, worshipping the mediators between him and Allah, asking them. That was the problem of Abu Jahl. The evidence, وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ. If you ever ask, oh Muhammad, if you ever ask those mushrikeen, who created the heavens and the earth, what? They'll say to you, it's Allah. And by the way, if you say that He controlled the throne, that's why we say استوى على العرش. Wait a minute, why don't you say استوى على الأرض also? Because He is controlling the earth. Why don't you say He استوى على الجبال? Because He is controlling the earth as well. Why only Allah? Why only Allah precised the throne apart from all the other creatures that He had created, and He has power over them? Why only the throne? All of these evidences prove that those people, they are twisting the meanings of these ayat. So this ruling of theologic rhetoric, it ends with proving what? That there's one creator for the world. This was not the problem of the mushrikeen. It did not solve the problem of the mushrikeen. The problem of the mushrikeen, what? Huh? قل ادعوا الذين زعمتم من دونه فلا يملكون كشف الضر عنكم ولا تحويلا إن الذين تدعون من دون الله عباد أمثالكم وأن المساجد لله فلا تدعوا مع الله أحدا. At-Tabari rahimahullah, he said, those people, the Arabs, the ancient Arabs, used to be acknowledging the unity, the oneness of Allah, but they used to be falling in shirk in terms of their worship to Him. Do you understand it? Let me give you a very important evidence. The Prophet ﷺ used to be invading villages at the last period of his life. He used to pass by villages. At Fajr, he waits until the time of Fajr. If he hears in the village the adhan, he leaves the village and go. If he doesn't hear adhan in the village, he used to be attacking. That means this is a pagan village. This is according to Sahih Muslim. Once he was waiting in a certain village until the adhan of Fajr, and he heard the muadhin saying, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The Prophet said, Ala al-fitra. He said, this is according to the natural disposition. This is something natural. Ala al-fitra. Then he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Then the Prophet replied and said, Kharajta min an-nar. You went out of hell because of saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. This is in Sahih Muslim. What does it mean? Why the Prophet did not say to him Kharajta min an-nar when he said Allahu Akbar? Because this is natural to believe that Allah is the greatest. It is set naturally in your natural disposition that Allah is the greatest. So he did not say to him, you're going to be out of hell because of what. No, he didn't say that. But when he said Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, now the Prophet said Kharajta min an-nar. You are saved from hell because saying that. So the testimony of Tawheed, La ilaha illallah, is different than believing that there is one only creator. So what was the highest thing with those people of theologic rhetoric? is to prove that there is one creator for the world, not two creators. That was the belief of Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab. Yet, they're not saved from hell because of the shirk. The other thing is that they bring some attacks against Ibn Taymiyyah. They say Ibn Taymiyyah divided the Tawheed into three categories. Tawheed Rububiyyah, Tawheed Uluhiyyah, Tawheed Asma' wa Sifat. Where did he get that? Did the Prophet say the Tawheed is divided into three categories? Why he has to say that? No. This is, as Shaykh Fawzan, as I mentioned to you, rahimahullah, wa hafidhahullah, he said, bil istiqra, by the combination of evidences, we have made mukhtasar, we have summarized the issue, dividing the issues. Just like today we divided the ulum, the knowledge, into ilm al-hadith, ilm al-usul, right? Ilm al-tafsir, ilm al-mustalah. It is naive that some come and say, did the Prophet say that the knowledge is divided into ilm al-hadith, ilm al-usul, ilm al-aqidah? Did he mention? No. So where did he get that? It's from the combination of the book and the sunnah. We have divided them and summarized them to the people to make it easier for them to understand the knowledge in a very brief way. Okay? So that's what Ibn Taymiyyah did. And they say he's the first one who brought this bid'ah. No. Why don't you take it as a good bid'ah as well, since you take many other things as good bid'ah? Take this as good bid'ah as well. Yallah, go ahead. No, this is bad bid'ah. Right? But he's not the first one. The book itself, the Quran, differed between what? Tawheed al-Rububiyyah and Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah. Allah said to all mankind, Alastu bi Rabbikum? Did they say yes or no? They all said yes. So that's why it will not be saving you believing that there is a creator for the world. One creator. Once I was in the Hyde Park and there was an Egyptian brother. He said to me, I kept struggling with an atheist. I said yes, until what? He said, until he acknowledged that the creator of the world is one, that is Allah. I said, really? He said, yes. I said, well, may Allah reward you for your struggle, but he is not muwahhid yet. Until he worship Allah purely alone. That is the Tawheed. That's why I like this word. I emphasize that word. Tawheedullahi bi af'al al-ibad. Okay? Exerting the Tawheed of Allah by my actions of worship. By my actions of worship. And by the way, the Ash'ari themselves, they divided Tawheed into three categories. Tawheed al-Dhat, Tawheed al-Sifat, Tawheed al-Af'al. So they also divided the Tawheed into three categories. So what? Well, for showing the enmity against Ibn Taymiyyah, that has a special taste or a special reward. Yes. They dedicate people to attack Ibn Taymiyyah now. Why? There's a man, I like his words. I forgot his name. But he has a great study of Ibn Taymiyyah's thought. I don't know if I have it, it's really a very important thing. I don't have maybe now the name. I'm going to bring you the name if you remind me, inshallah, next week. He is Orientalist and he's consultant in America. And he studied the thoughts and the ideology of Ibn Taymiyyah. He said, this man is a nation by himself. That's why some people hate him, because he was really decisive and accurate in Aqidah. And this man, I don't know if he became Muslim or not, but he was describing Ibn Taymiyyah in a way that maybe many Muslims could not defend him in the way that this man was defending him. Ibn Taymiyyah was a great, strong person. So anyway, this is what I have to mention. We return back to the Tahawyah. Shall we start now? We did not start. No? Yes or no? طيب. I will take 10 minutes only, if you bear with me. Only 10 minutes to make some explanations, important and needed. And then inshallah, خلاص, يعني this is the last muqaddimah for before getting into the subject of Tahawyah, because these issues are very important. That's what I believe. I hope you agree with me. So let's begin now with the Tahawyah. We mentioned number 1, number 2, and number 3. What are those things that we mentioned before? Yes. He said, نقول في توحيد الله. We say about the oneness of Allah, معتقدين أن الله واحد لا شريك له. This is number 2. Then I explained it. And today, number 3 or 4, I think. Yes, 4. He says, وَلَا شَيْءَ مِثْلَهُ. And there is nothing like him. That means nothing resembles Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, we agree with this. But in names there are common attributes between us and Allah. And it doesn't mean that we have common facts. The common names do not become common facts. What does this mean? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. There's nothing like him. But we continue the ayah. We don't chop it up. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. Ahl Sunnah, they use this ayah as a base, pillar for their belief. Saying, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ. This one refutes who? Those who make Allah similar to his creatures. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Those who deny his attributes. Why? Because al-Basir, sorry. Because as-Sami' al-Basir are two attributes attributed to Allah, in which we have the same attributes as well. How? إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا. Did you understand what I mean? So there's no contradiction between saying that there is Allah, there is nothing that resembles him, and at the same time believing that he is Sami' Basir and that we are Sami' Basir as well. Because when we apply Sami' Basir to us, we know that what it means to us. And when we apply it to him, we know that when we apply it, it differently takes different place than us. Is there any honey in Jannah? Is there any honey? Is there banana, fruits, rivers? Yes, there is a river of khamr in Jannah. So if you drink it, will you become like what happened today with people when they drink al-khamr? No, it's different. The name is the same, but the fact is different. The fruits of Jannah, they have the same names of the fruits that we have here, but the fact is different. And we can tell naturally that the name is the same, but the fact is different. Naturally, we don't need to go to the Sorbonne, to go to the university to study in order to be able to differentiate or to know that despite the similarity of the name, the facts should be different. Naturally. So Ahlul Sunnah are in moderate between those who went to extreme in affirming the attributes of Allah until they become mushabbih, and between those who went to extreme in exalting Allah to the extent that they become mu'attil. Yani they deny the attributes of Allah. Ahlul Sunnah is between those two extremes. That's why Ahlul Sunnah said, Al-Mu'attilu ya'budu Adaman wal-Mushabbihu ya'budu Sanaman. Al-Mushabbih, the one who makes Allah similar to his creatures, is a matter of fact, he is a pagan worshipper, he's an idol worshipper. And the one who deny the attributes of Allah, he is worshipping nothing. You know why? Look what they say. Allah is not inside the world, okay? And He's not outside the world. What? Wait a minute, what? He is not inside, okay. How come I believe? How can the mind give solution to this fact? It can't. The mind will be blowing up. To believe that Allah is not inside the world, but not outside the world. So where is He? Stealth? Shabah? Mirage? Sarab? Can't be. That's why those who deny that Allah is over His throne, that Allah is not inside the world, we don't say that Allah is inside the world, with His knowledge. Allah is not over His throne, He's not in the height. Those who deny all of that, they are turning to become believers of nothingness. Adam. Number 5. وَلَا شَيْءَ يُعْجِزُهُ. There's nothing that can overwhelm Him. This is also affirming a comprehensive power to Allah. In contrary of what those Ash'aris or Mu'tazila, when they deny that Allah has hands, and they say, we say to them, what about Allah saying, Ya Iblis, ma mana'aka an tasjuda lima khalaqtu biyaday? What had stopped you from bowing down to the one I created by my 2 hands? They say the hand here means power. Oh, power. But Allah is saying that He has dual hand, 2 hands, dual. This is reference to what? Huh? Dual. Muthanna. So do you say that Allah has 2 powers? How come? Allah has one comprehensive power. You can't say Allah has 2 power, power A, power B. Just like saying the airplane has 2 engines. Engine 1, engine B. Engine A, engine... It can't be. What happens when they change the yad to power? They're making tahrif of the Jews. And by the way, when the Jews affirmed one hand to Allah, when they said, Yadullahi maghlula, then when Allah refuted them, He said, Bal yadahu mabsutatan. He affirmed for Himself 2 hands. They affirmed to Allah 1 hand. Then when Allah refuted them, He affirmed to Himself 2 hands. And that's what we believe, that Allah has 2 hands. If you go ahead and say that Allah has power, you're messing the whole the whole ayah. No, tahrif. وَلَا إِلَهَ غَيْرُهُ. There is no God other than Him. What's the meaning of ilah? Just give me one word translation for the word ilah in English. Deity. The one that is worshipped. Al-Ma'bud. Not only deity. The one who is Al-Ma'bud, also bihaq. His kind of worship is a matter of worship by truth. You can't say La ilaha illallah means there is no one that is worshipped except Allah. That's not true. There are many that are worshipped with Allah, thousands, but not by truth, by false. The only worship by truth is the worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's all. What if someone said, La ilaha illallah? Some people say, يعني ما في الكون إلا الله. They explain La ilaha illallah means there is nothing in the world except Allah. This is wahdatul wujud, the oneness of the existence. All the existence is one, including Allah and His creatures. All are one. Who believe in that idea? Ibn Arabi la'anahullah. And everyone who believes his belief. Because those people are, if they have minds, they are worse, they're saying something worse than Christians. Christians said the 3 are one, but those people are saying all are one, which is worst. Now, that is why I was making a debate today, just 2 hours before I came here, but it was on Twitter. I was saying to someone, just say Allah fis sama as he said. And it took 1 hour with him. He was rambling, dodging. He couldn't say it. Come on, say it. Allah said it in the Quran. Amintum man fis sama. Say what Allah said about himself. No. But he brought to me this ayah. وَهُوَ الَّذِي فِي السَّمَاءِ إِلَهُ وَفِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَهُ. The ayah means, and He is Allah, that He is the one that is worshipped in heaven and worshipped on earth. Al-Ilah means the one who is worshipped. So this, he wants me to believe. Look, he's refuting me, saying, okay, Allah said in the Quran that He is in heaven and earth. Come on, go ahead and believe it. Allah did not say He is in heaven and earth. But he quoted to me this ayah. وَهُوَ الَّذِي فِي السَّمَاءِ إِلَهُ وَفِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَهُ. And He's the one that is God in the heaven and God in the earth. He's talking about being worshipped by the people of heaven. There are people in heaven and there are people on earth. And He is the one that is worshipped by the people of heaven and by the people of the earth. Look, see how they twist the meanings of the ayat. I said, despite you brought this ayah, you did not answer my question. Just say Allah is not in as-sama. Just say it. He ran away and he could not say it. Because if he said He is not, he knows that he'll be opposing apparently what Allah said in the Quran. أَأَمِنْتُم مَّن فِي أَمِنْتُم مَّن فِي السَّمَاءِ. He'll be opposing the ayah. And if he said yes, he'll be coming to us in our belief. So the best thing is to run away and bring an ayah, that may cause people to think that he brought an evidence while he did not bring evidence. Those people are dangerous. And those people had stumbled us from approaching Christians and other people in the world. Because of them, we can't give da'wah to those people because they always surrounding us. Yalla, come, argue with me. Argue. They are people of jadal. And the Prophet ﷺ said, مَا ضَلَّ قَوْمٌ بَعْدَ هُدًى كَانُوا عَلَيْهِ إِلَّا أُوتُوا الْجَدَلِ. There are no people that were diverted from guidance which they used to be having before, but they will be given jadal, argument. They will be arguing with you. My style now, my strategy regarding those people, I may give them some of my time and I say to them, sorry, there are people who are looking for the truth. I cannot waste my time with someone who is not able, or he is refusing the truth. I can't give you most of my time. Most of my time is supposed to be given to those who are seeking the truth. If I do it the opposite, that's not wise of me. If I give most of my time for those who refuse the truth, that's not wisdom. You have to use, and this is exactly the fulfillment of Abasa wa Tawalla. The Prophet was trying his best, struggling to explain the truth to a person who was arrogant among the high quality of people of Mecca. At the same time, Abdullah bin Maktoum, he was blind and he came to the Prophet and said, "Oh Prophet, teach me from what Allah taught you." The Prophet turned away from him as if he was saying, "It's not your time now. I'm trying with this man. This man is high in his, in his community. If he became Muslim, all his community would be, no, but the scale is different with Allah." So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blamed the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam for turning to that person who is turning away from the truth, when at the same time Abdullah bin Maktoum, the seeker of the truth, came to the Prophet ﷺ and asked him to explain to him something. Let us stop here inshallah, and next week, khalas, I promise you, there is no explanations or muqaddimat presentation. We'll get into the topic immediately inshallah, but I hope that excuse me for my explanations, which I believe it to be very important. So inshallah, our appointment with you will be next what? After tomorrow, inshallah, if you remain alive. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Is there any question you'd like to ask? Yes, Brother Abdullah.
There's a quote some people use saying that every muta'allim is a mujassim and vice versa. Can this occur?
معطل, not معلل. معطل. Al-mu'attil is the denier of the attributes of Allah. Wal-mushabbih is the one that make Allah's attributes similar to His creatures. So al-mushabbih, he worships wathan, a pagan, an idol, because he's making Allah similar to His creatures. So he's making His creatures equal to Him. But al-mu'attil is a worshipper of nothing, because he's denying Allah's names and attributes. And a Sunni is between those two ways, extremes. He's in the middle. Is that clear to you?
What I meant was the mu'attil, he denies.
He doesn't deny it directly, but indirectly. When he gives it, when he change its meaning, yes.
He denied based on the fact that in his mind he likens the creation.
He's denying what?
Denying the attributes because in his mind he likens. So that's our fear.
He cannot deny the attributes because he will be treated as non-Muslim, finish immediately. But what does he? What he does is, he says, I give different meanings to the attributes than the meanings you're understanding.
And he does this based on liking. Why? So what's it based on changing the nature?
Because according to the methodology he took from Ilm al-Kalam, Allah should not be, for example, making istiwa. Allah should not be moving. Allah should not be walking, for example. Allah should not be having a body, etc., etc. And they call the hand body, the sight body, the seeing body. Okay? So we say to them, you are mu'attila because you are denying indirectly. They are indirectly denying Allah's attributes. By saying it means this, it doesn't mean that, etc. When they change its meanings, that is leading us to classify them as deniers of Allah's attributes. They did not say there is no God, but they're so close and similar to those communists who believe in nothingness, because it ends to the same thing. When the Ash'ari or Mu'tazili or Jahmi, they say Allah is neither inside the world nor outside the world, the communists will come and say to them, that's good. You're coming so close to us. That's what we've been trying to say to you since 100 years, that there is nothing inside the world, there is nothing outside the world as God. Any other question? Yes? Yes? Not further.
This one of these groups, they said denying the yad of Allah, and they brought that ayah you mentioned earlier, لا يأتيه الباطل من بين يديه ولا من خلفه. They said if you say that Allah has hand, also the Quran has good hand.
That's why I explained it before. The way they do it, they say, if you believe that Allah has hand, you should also believe that the Quran has hand. Because Allah said in the Quran, about the Quran, لا يأتيه الباطل, the falsehood doesn't come من بين يديه ولا من خلفه. So Allah is attributing two hands for the Quran. It's not true. When you combine the word bayna and you put beside it yaday, it means one meaning necessarily in Arabic, because it means the front direction. Why? Because الكلام إما اللفظ إما أن يكون إفرادي فردي, one sole meaning, one sole word that gives a meaning, or two combined words that give different meanings. And I gave the evidence that bayna means between, yaday means hands. When you put those two words together, they give one meaning, which is front. When you separate them, as I quoted to you the ayah, لا يأتيه الباطل من بين يديه لا له ما بين أيدينا وما خلفنا وما بين ذلك. This is very important. In which surah is that? Surah Taha. No, Surah Maryam. ما بين أيدينا. It's good if they said that to you, tell them, okay, let's deal with this ayah in Surah Maryam. Ayah number 64. It says, to Allah belongs what's before us and what's behind us and what is between that. So there is two words, bayna. له ما بين أيدينا. What's the meaning of ما بين أيدينا? Before us. وما خلفنا. And that's evidence that Allah was talking about the front direction, because He mentioned the back direction. له ما بين أيدينا وما خلفنا وما بين ذلك. That means to Allah also belong what's between the front and the back of us. Clear, inshallah?
Clear, Jazakallah.
Someone told me that there's two hands of Allah. Allah has two hands. And his two hands is not like our hands, but his two hands is in the right. Is it true? And the hadith say that his two hands in the right. I don't know if it's true.
وكلتا يديه يمين. Yameen, this is also tadlis, because yameen means human, barakah. Tadlis means illusion. They deceive you, deception. They deceive you. They make you think that the word yameen here was meant by right direction. No. It's talking about human, min al human. The source of yameen is from human and barakah. Okay? Yeah. There is a narration in Sahih al-Bukhari that Sahih Muslim, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take by his left hand. And this word in this narration is shav, because the narrator, who is trustworthy, made a mistake by using the word shimal, left. Some other more accurate and trustworthy narrators, they translated it without the word left. So we take the narration of those who were more accurate and more trustworthy than him. Only in this word we say this is shadh. Shadh means peculiar. There's a peculiarity here. Do you say peculiarity, right? Yani shudud. Yani there's a mistake here. Only the word of the narration, one word, shimal, is shaz, is not correct.
He didn't do it.
No. Sometimes by mistake.
Mistake.
Yes. Okay. Any other question? Yes, Samuel. Hmm? No, the barakah in his hands. وَكِلْتَا يَدَيْهِ يَمِينٌ. He's describing the hands that they are hands of barakah. كِلْتَا يَدَيْهِ يَمِينٌ. He didn't say yaminan, barakatan. The blessings come out of his both hands. This is what it means. Clear? Let's see if there's someone else want to ask questions. Okay, go ahead.
You know, when we talk about the mind, like so many people they say the mind is in the brain, and Allah says the aql is in the heart. So which?
This is because the aql is the source of ya'qil, to understand. So when the Quran is talking about aql, it means something to be comprehended and understood. That's why Allah said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Mu'minun, I think, أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَتَكُونَ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ يَعْقِلُونَ بِهَا. They understand thereby. Okay? So the understanding is based in the heart. But then maybe the machine of understanding, the process, the process of that understanding, the mechanism is in the brain. But the understanding, the location of understanding is located in the heart itself.
Is it? But I believe that only Allah can give you that understanding. Only Allah. Even if you try to understand, you cannot understand it. Only Allah.
So He gave you a mind that you don't understand unless Allah throw the understanding in your mind.
I mean in
What?
In the if you want to understand the Quran and Sunnah, only in the religious, only in the religion. That's it. Only in Tawheed and Quran and Sunnah.
I didn't understand your question.
Okay. I believe that only Allah can give you.
Allah supports you. You should be working. You should be striving to learn. Okay? Hey. Yani for example, the Prophet ﷺ asked Allah to grant Ibn Abbas fiqh. Allahumma faqihu fi din wa alimhu ta'wil. But you should be striving for that as well. Not only to wait until Allah put it in you. You have to strive for it. Sometimes there are some things that people think by themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But the general understanding of the book and the sunnah and what to believe in, it had been explained to you through the book and the sunnah and the understanding of as-salaf as-salih. This is something made ready to you. You don't need to keep exercising, trying to making some thoughts or ideas by yourself. This is something that is made easy to you. Okay? Clear, inshallah? For example, Umar radiallahu anhu, sometimes the Prophet wants you to ponder upon the thing. Like ayatul, what do you call it? Al-kilala. Al-kilala means someone who died while he has no children. He has a sister. Okay? And brothers. So what will be the matter of inheritance? So the Prophet wanted Umar radiallahu anhu to think about it and not to depend on the explanation of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He wanted to ask the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about its meaning, and the Prophet said, he just hit him like this by his finger, and he said, go to Ayat al-Sayf, which is in Surah An-Nisa. Go and read it, and you will understand. He wanted him to understand. There are sometimes things that you can understand by yourself, but in terms of aqeedah, there is something that had been made ready for you. It doesn't mean that you don't use your mind. No. You can use your mind based on the light that is given to you. Because what we see today, we have genius people. Bill Gates, etc. Job, that one, I don't know, I forgot his name. You have genius people, but they are misguided. What is the outcome? What is the benefit of their genius minds? They got lost. So there are many, like Ibn Sina, for example. Ibn Sina is a philosopher who was really significant, like Ibn Rushd. Many. They are philosophers. But they were misguided because they did not take from the book and the sunnah. Even if you have genius mind, if you do not base yourself on the book and the sunnah, you will remain to be a genius, but you'll be misguided. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khairan. I was told that it's over, and the last question.
How do you reconcile between the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala "Min sharri ma khalaq" and the statement of Allah sallallahu
We'll go to that. To what?
"Sharru laysa ilayk"?
It doesn't end to you. It doesn't return to you. وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ. The evil was created by Allah, yes, but it doesn't return to Allah. It's a test from Allah the Almighty. وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ, yani it should not be attributed to you. If Allah create, it doesn't mean if he created the evil, it doesn't mean that the evil returns to Him. This is the meaning, وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ. The Prophet did not deny that Allah is the creator of the evil as well. Okay? Because the consequence and the end and the triumph will be for the truth. This evil is an exceptional case as a test of people. طيب جزاكم الله خيرا. This is enough. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين وبارك الله فيكم.
So, do you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he has two hands, right and left?
No, the left is not proven.
The Sheikh, Mr. Abdullah Ghani, he said, one of our teachers in Medina University asked him about the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he quoted the hadith, وَكِلْتَا يَدَيْهِ يَمِينٌ, and he said, وَالسِّكُودْ يَمِين means that it is perfect.
But Sheikh bin Baz explained it the other way.
Like,
بركة يمن من اليمن والبركة. سلام. As Allah said, بيدك الخير. Huh? Right? The good is in your hand. Allah. نعم. Yes,
I had a dream last night. Inshallah.
I don't interpret dreams. I don't know. That's not my career. I don't know.
Alhamdulillah.
Ah. Alhamdulillah. Well, that's good, inshallah.
And today you say
Volume. There's a volume behind the light.
And today you say Muhammad he's here. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. You say from hell.
Ya Rab. Alhamdulillah.